Hello. Hello. Free motion quilting. Are you a free motion quilter? Are you a free motion quilter? Do you struggle with free motion quilting? Do you know how to set up your machine for free motion quilting? How are you with free motion quilting? It's been a minute since I've come on live to cheer you on, to say that you can do it. You can succeed at free motion quilting. Hello, how are you? So glad that you're here. This is just a quick online session live to encourage you to try free motion quilting. Aloha, how are you? So glad that you're here. These are some designs that I'm going to share with you that are going to be a part of a new alphabet-based alphabet and project-based class. If you are a alphabet design student of mine, you've taken my online course, you're learning the alphabet. Hey, thank you. I'm so glad you like my videos. I've been thinking about what's next. What's next for you? What's next is to take those skills that you've learned and put them in a project, a small project. It's a mini quilt. And so I went through my samples to see what designs that I can include in this project. Now, it's a mini quilt that I did years ago, and it's called Barrier of Hatteras. It's based on this block I designed called Quilter's Canvas, meaning it's a nice area to feature free motion quilting and get tons of practice. So I wanted to do that because there's a lot of you who are taking this course, and I want you to get to the next level. So the first thing that I decided to do in preparation for this, I'm going to show you the design. So stay tuned. Don't leave. Stay tuned. Is machine setup. So tonight I ran the first free class for, if you're already in my alphabet design class, it's free. You can join. There's a cheat sheet. Where's my cheat sheet? Here it is. This is the cheat sheet. Let me put it down here so you can see it. There are going to be 2 more sessions. If you're in the alphabet course and you got the email and tonight was not good for you, there are going to be 2 more sessions. And in those sessions, it's all about preparing you to take the next step in your journey with free motion quilting, to put all the things that you're learning into a mini quilt. But I want to make sure you're set up for success. So that's why I'm having this free class for those who are in the alphabet class, to get all this information about how to set up your machine for success. And I go through it with some machine demos, one on a home machine, domestic machine, and one on a long arm. So we did that tonight, the first session. There are 3 altogether. So if you're in the alphabet class, the online course, make sure when you get the email to register. If you're first learning about the alphabet course, what is that? She keeps talking about this alphabet thing. Well, it's the way that I've learned how to improve my free motion quilting by using what I already know. So all of these designs, this one included, is based on the alphabet. Now, this is yellow in the front, but the back fabric, the back is black. It probably looks like, at least it does to me, like shells on a fish, but it's based on using a grid to help us with the scale. It looks like scales, but it's also to help us with the scale of stitching our U. Now, it looks like part of an M when it's this way, but if I turn it around, right, it's basically a U. And we shift it so that we create these scales. So I will make video demos on these new designs so that you can choose a theme. Hello, so glad that you're here. Hello, Sue. Hello, Becky. Hello, everyone. Quilt Life, Sue, Cindy. So glad that you're here. Welcome. So this is coming soon. Hey, Sugar Glider, how are you? So glad that you're here. So this is one video demo, how to stitch it, all that. But if you're in the alphabet course, you already know what this is based on, and you should be practicing. Hello, Heavenly Craft. So that's one. And this should be familiar. This is all based on the letter C. This is based on the letter C, but it looks like waves, right? It's a cursive. So we use cursive lettering. We use box lettering. Let me see if I can get this around. Sorry for all that. And this is to help you build your skills with free motion quilting. The whole idea is that I want you to be creative. Don't you want to be creative? You want to quilt your quilts with creativity. That is my desire for you. And so we're slowly building it up. We're building it up. And we're using the alphabet to build our skills to be able to stitch any direction using box letters, cursive letters, and combining them, right? So here is another example that I really love. I call this DNA strand. Let's see if I can bring that up a little bit closer. See that? Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Now, it didn't start this way, and that's the benefit of practicing free motion quilting with the alphabet. It started with, let me find it, which was the first one. This was the first one. I did this one first. It's just the letter S echoed and then connected. And I did it in a line, one right after the other. That's where I start. So creativity isn't something that just all of a sudden happens. It happens in the practice of practice. While we practice, while we play in our sandbox, we become more and more inspired. So it went from this to this. I said, well, do I have to do them one at a time? Can I connect them? Good evening. Hey, Madonna. I'm so glad that you're here. We missed you tonight. I hoped you would be at the free class on machine setup, but there are going to be 2 more. And in the class, you get this free guide. It's a cheat sheet. We did one tonight. We're going to do 2 more in July. So when you get the email, sign up. It's all about setting up your machine for success. So I go through it step by step through the tip sheet, and we learn about setting up our machine for free motion quilting. It's foundational, but sometimes we need a repeat of the foundations. We need to check to make sure that we are doing what we need to do, right? Hello from Malaysia. How are you? So again, alphabet-based designs. That's one. Okay, yes. So this is DNA strand where it's random, and I can do as many as I want of these echo S's. So this one has 1, 2, 3. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's all random, right? I love it. Love it, love it. And then this one, I don't know how well you can see this one. This is one of my favorites. It's a simple edge to edge, but it's all based on the letter O. So in our session tonight, we talked about how to warm up. We did our machine settings. We had all the right tools, feet, needles, etc., thread. Then we talked about tension. And once we get all that done, it's listening to our machine and then learning how our technique works. Are we moving the quilt sandwich smoothly? Do we know how to start and stop? So we go through all that, right? And part of that is just meander. I use meander to check my technique, to listen to my machine, and we talked about that too tonight. But look at this on the back. Why do you think this is smooth and consistent? This was on a home machine without stitch regulation. That's because I practice. I practice a lot. I want to bring this up a little bit closer so you can see it. There we go. All right, so that's a little bit closer. And I love the practice of meander. It helps me develop my confidence. smooth moving of the quilt sandwich. So meander is one of the ways that I warm up. I am a free motion quilting athlete. Are you an athlete, free motion quilting athlete? Hello, Eleanor. Hello, Linda. So glad that you're here. Hello. Welcome, welcome. So this is, guess what letter that is? That's the letter O. That's two O's. And they are connected with a curvy line or the letter S. When we think about free motion quilting designs, this is my technique. Others may do it differently, but what do I say? Others may. They do it differently. I do it with the alphabet, right? You can do it any way you want to get to your destination. That's the whole point. Your destination is to be able to stitch free motion quilting confidently and creatively so that you can enjoy the quilting process and finish more quilts. I like to use the alphabet. It is an express lane, if you will, because we are basically using muscle memory we already have in our hands, right? So that's that. And now this one is really fun. Look at this one. This one is really fun. Now, remember I said creativity and design happens in the doing. The more we practice, the more we are going to think about different things that we can do. We're just going to change things just a little bit to get something different. And this is one of those designs. This is one of those designs. I'm going to change it to the black so that you can see it really, really good. Take a look at that. Is that fun? Look at that. That is so fun. So what ends up happening is that you'll have designs that are backtrack required, meaning you stitch over previous stitching to create the design, or we have to move from one area of the quilt to the other to make it look random. We change the scale, but this is still based on the alphabet. If you think about what letter this could be, the letter T, right? With a letter A at the cap, or a letter V at the top. So we're combining letters. Hello. Nice to see you here. Welcome, welcome. So glad that you're here. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free. I'd love to answer your questions about machine setup. So that's based on the V and the T and opening up that straight line so it looks like an arrow. So any designs that we see out there, whether it's an arrow, it's a flag, look at buildings and look for letters. If you start to look for letters, you will see them. It's like when you buy a car. Once you buy a car or a phone or something, all of a sudden you see it everywhere because now you're tuned into it. Yes, this is free motion quilting. I did this on a home machine without stitch regulation because I practice. This is all free motion. And it's based on using the characters and shapes of the alphabet. That is my system that I love to teach to quilters, is how to use the alphabet to be more creative. And all of these are based on the alphabet. We can be more creative and we can learn quickly free motion quilting. These skills then help you stitch those beautiful designs that you see in stencils, because now we've been able to train our hands to move in any and every direction. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Here's another one where I've combined and exaggerated. Here's the other benefit of using the alphabet. Any shape in the alphabet, we can change the scale and or exaggerate it to get a different look. So now this is a wide U with a little O. It becomes a scallop, right? And then when you start to stitch it together, then you get something like this. It's fun. It's fun to experiment. Thank you. I love your idea of noticing patterns in the world. Yes, be inspired. Exactly. Exactly. I love to look at architecture for inspiration. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. So here's another one. Here is another one. Another technique that I love to teach, especially for home machine quilters, we have small machines with a home machine, not a lot of space. Our home machines love to for us to stitch in one direction. And it's great because when we stitch a big quilt, stitching in a vertical direction as opposed to left and right, it doesn't mean we're not moving the quilt left and right. It just means that when we're stitching, we're moving the quilt away from us or toward us, not into the machine, away from us or toward us in a vertical fashion. And this is how this is stitched. These are basically squares, but if you think about it with the alphabet, they're box letters. So this would be a box letter B or a box letter D. Uh, uh, that is a very good question. I think that happens over time and experimenting. It all depends. I like to start when I think about selecting a design for a project. It happens in multiple ways. One, what technique do I know how to stitch? Do I know walking foot quilting? Do I know free motion quilting? Do I know hand quilting? What techniques do I know how to do? Then once I figure out, okay, I know walking foot quilting. What designs do I know how to stitch with a walking foot? If I know free motion quilting, what designs do I know? Do I have a library of go-to designs? That's why I love the alphabet course because I'm helping you build a library of go-to designs. Then the more designs and techniques you know, the more options you have. When we're limited, sometimes that's a good thing, but other times you want to be able to stitch other designs. So the first thing is, what are my skills? What do I know how to stitch? What patterns do I have in my bank? I know how to stitch. And then thirdly, can I use those designs based on a theme? So every quilt that I quilt, I pick a quilting theme. And then I see, can I create stitching that I know to fit that theme? So that's sometimes how I do it. Now, in the beginning, when I was first learning, I stitched everything with the meander. Meander, 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 because I was building my skills and confidence. Then I did a meander with a flower, then a meander with a leaf, then a meander with something else. Do I mark all Do you mark all of your starts and stop points? I do not. I am, as much as I practice, I'm also a lazy quilter. Lazy in the sense that I want to quilt a lot. I want to finish quilts. And if I have to mark everything, it's going to take forever. So my style of quilting is little to no marking. I do not want to spend time marking. I want to spend time quilting. Spend time quilting. So here is another design. This is also based on the alphabet, and it's based on quilting a row or a column at a time. It looks continuous, but it's stitched one at a time, and it's a beautiful design. I love it. Again, alphabet based. This is how it looks when it's not contrasting thread. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Hey, Wilda, how are you? Is your sister there with you? How are you? No, my points aren't perfect. You're not looking very closely. My points are not perfect. I'm curious. I am going live on um I'm taking out my cell phone for a minute. Give me a quick minute. I'm trying to test something here. Let's see. So I'm live on Instagram, I'm live on Facebook, and I'm live on YouTube. Now, this is the first time I'm live vertically on YouTube. Is it coming off as a vertical live or is it a horizontal live? So Madonna and Wilda, you're watching. Hey, Joellen, hello. Hi. I don't want that. So I'm trying to figure out what it is doing. Am I coming up live vertically? No. It has me in a horizontal format. I don't know why, but anyway, I'll have to test that out later. I was trying to get into the vertical live part of YouTube. So the question is, do you stop and bury threads when done or start and stop with every small stitches? It depends on the project. If I know I'm going to have a lot of threads to bury, I might do it in between, because when I have like hundreds or I'm exaggerating, but a lot of threads to bury, it's kind of daunting, and I don't want to sit for an hour burying threads. So I'd rather do 15 minutes of burying threads and then do some more quilting and then bury some more threads. If I have very little threads to bury, oh, it's vertical for you. Okay. Are you watching on your phone? Let me see. Oh, okay, great. It is vertical. Awesome. Thank you, Madonna, for that. So it all depends on the project. When I bury threads, if it's a lot, I like to do it intermittently so that I don't have a bunch at the end. If it's very little, vertical on Instagram. Yay, thank you. Yes, thank you, thank you. All right, so there's that. I think I showed you everything. Yeah, so this is coming. This is going to be a new class. And those who are already in the alphabet class, get ready. So join me. If you missed tonight's free class, for those of you who are already in the alphabet, it's an online course. And periodically, I'm going to pop in live, do a live class, private live class on Zoom, which I did tonight. And tonight's theme was machine setup, because I want you to get ready for this class that's coming. I want you to know that you know how to set up your machine. You know about threads, you know about needles, you know about tension. You're becoming an expert at tension. If you are afraid of tension, you need to change that. You want to master tension. You don't want it to master you. So spend time. And the other big thing is that we talked about machine manual. Know your machine back and forth. Know everything about it. You need to know that if it doesn't sound good, you know something is wrong. You don't keep sewing. You stop and you investigate. So that's what we're going to do for July, so that in August, so I want many of you who have been hesitating with practicing free motion quilting, learning free motion quilting, it to start. Start learning, start practicing. If you haven't handed in your assignments for me to give you feedback, start doing it, because I want you to move forward. If we don't practice on a regular basis, you know this already, so I'm just saying it to remind you. It's like we're starting from zero. We don't want to repeatedly start from the beginning. We want to move forward. And the only way to do that is to practice, and to go from practice sandwiches like this to real quilts. We want to go to real quilts. And I do that incrementally. I start with small sandwiches like this, and then I start to go to small projects. So we're going to do a mini quilt. Hello, everyone. Let me know if you have any questions. And eventually, probably in August, I will open up the machine setup class, how to set up your machine for free motion quilting, for anyone to join. It will be a nominal fee, like $20, something like that. It'll be an hour and a half. We'll have an hour on machine setup for a home machine, and then for a long arm. You'll get this free download. It's, I don't know, 9-10 pages cheat sheet. It's a guide. And then we'll have a Q&A. So an hour of how to set up your machine for success for a home machine, domestic machine, and then a long arm. I have a Bernina Q20. And then we will have about a half hour, 20 minutes Q&A about machine setup. I want you to succeed at free motion. That is my desire. That's what I love to do. And so I hope you can join me. If you are new, you have never met me before, I'm Geraldine Wilkins. I'm the Living Water Quilter, and my specialty is to help ladies learn free motion quilting and acrylic ruler quilting. So I teach in-person classes at guilds and quilt shows. Go to my website, machinequilting.live. I'm going to put this up. Get on the email list so that you can sign up for this class when I send out the email, because I'm only going to send it out to my email list. Let's see, machinequilting.live. I'm going to put this up on the screen once it comes up. Okay. All right. So go to machinequilting.live and sign up for my email list so that you can then be notified when I will have the classes for machine setup in August. I'll probably do a couple of them, and it's just going to be a way to get you ready to do free motion. Maybe you're already started, but you're not sure about your machine setup and the tools that you need for successful. A lot of people think, well, I can't do free motion. I've tried. But maybe it's not you. Maybe it's your machine setup. Maybe it's the tools that you're using. And I want to help you set up your machine for success. So join me for that. And if you decide that you don't want to wait until August, you can sign up for the alphabet design course. Go to the same website, machinequilting.live, look for courses, education, and it happens to be the course of the month. So when you go to my website, look for the course of the month banner. There's a discount code. You can sign up for the course, and then you'll be able to take the next class, which will be in a couple of weeks. We had one tonight. It's a Zoom class. It's an hour and a half, and we will talk about machine setup. All right? So I think that's it for tonight. It's been a while since I've been live, and I wanted to let you know what was happening, what was going on. Thank you for joining me. Let's see who else is here. Hello, Marlene. Hello, Nina. So glad that you're here. All right, ladies. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you next time, and I hope to see you in the machine setup class for free motion quilting or in the alphabet design course. Those of you who are already in there, start doing the work. Watch the videos. Start doing the practice. Start handing in those assignments. Let me help you. Allow me to be your machine quilting coach. All right. Take care. See you next time.